Hello? Can everyone hear me? I accidentally clicked on the wrong mic, but I caught it. Is there sound? Gotta do a sound check. Willow is already saying hi. Yes, she can hear me. Okay, excellent. All right. So we're getting the painting out. And oh, I didn't turn off the autofocus again. Give me 1 second. I don't know why. I always forget that. Well, not always, but at least the last couple of times. Just a moment here, sorry. Get the OBS, move my hand around, get it to focus. All right, autofocus off. Okay. There we go. If I don't do that, then every time I move like from my hand over with the paintbrush over to here, it almost does like a little jump with the camera. So yeah. So my paints survived overnight. They're still wet. So I have one of those palettes that comes with like a blue lid, and I usually take whatever paper towel I've been using. I get it wet, not like dripping wet, but pretty damp. Leave that off to the side, give it a spray down and close the lid really well. Usually, not always, but I will have good paint to use the next day that isn't all dried out. So it did last, but the paper in here was curling up. I already have paint all over my hands before I even start. So that's why I have, well, you can't even really see it with the camera, but I've got a brush off to the side just trying to hold it down. But let's see where we're going. So we're still just blocking in some red paint. I know this looks a little odd right here. This will actually kind of do a curl up thing. We'll get there. We'll get to it. But, why hello, puppy. Hi. You gonna let mama paint? You gonna let me paint? Hi, baby girl. You're being cute. That's a maybe on letting me paint. Willow's still being a scamp. So we are using just the quinacridone crimson, and we're mixing it in with some brown for the deep stuff. So I'm going to kind of continue and develop, instead of getting one flower completely done and then moving to the next like I usually do, I'm just going to do it a little bit different this time. I'm going to kind of do all the flowers in the same stage, which is it's gonna look a little different it's a process though, so just trust me, we'll get there. So I have just some crimson, and this is, you know, there's nothing, I'm not mixing anything with this crimson, and so this is the brightest it's gonna be. It's not gonna stay that way. But I'm just gonna keep going, and I'm gonna start blocking in some red paint. This is also the moment where I'm gonna make this flower a little bit larger. So I'm Hello. Hello, kitty cat. Kind of just going outside of the sketch. Sorry. Willow! Hey! I'm up with the hula hoos. Oh my goodness. She's barked a couple times this morning, but like the last hour, she's totally fine. Just relaxing, laying down. It's like she knows. She knows when I'm getting ready to go live. Dakota's being good though. But yep, that's why I have my dogs and my intro. They're always in the lives. Putting in their 2 cents. I'm talking about you. I'm just going outside. All of it being one color, very little to no shading really at the start. It's gonna look pretty two-dimensional. It's gonna start out looking flat. As I get to adding the darker and the lighter, it'll start to kind of jump out from the canvas here a little bit and get more 3D. My dogs are cute. Thank you. They are, and they know it. Every few minutes or so in the bottom left corner of the screen, I do have my website popping up. It's a small website at the moment, but there are some products and some information that you can check out. I also do have pictures of my dogs on my website as well. Cute little stinkers that they are. Hello, Tina. Heard a car door close. That's what that woo-woo bit was about. Well, they are just like my grandson's been good all day now. He's running around. Uh-huh. Dogs are a bit like small children. I have a website. Can we purchase your artwork? So yes, I have a website. It's theartsynurse.com. I have some info on there. I have some images of the past paintings that I've done. Oh, there it is. It's in the corner. Right there. I have some photos of some past paintings that I've made that I've painted live. And there are products that you can get. I do have a couple posters. There's going to be more up here within like the next day or two. There's a lot of mugs. But let me show you really quick. I did show it on yesterday's live. I'll show it again because I did order one of my paintings as a poster to kind of test it out and see. So hold on, I'm going to set that right here. But it did take a couple weeks to arrive. I still have it in the box. But this was a smaller poster of one of the flowers I painted. And I was very impressed on how it came out. Because it shows, you can see, it's a little bit hard to tell on through the camera, but you can see the bumps of the canvas, and you can see a lot of the brush strokes that I made. Like, I was very impressed with the detail and the quality. It's a thick poster paper. Let's see. And I do sign with, this is not my legal name. I do want to verify that. My mother was a painter as well, so I use her maiden name. That's how I sign all my artwork, is with my mom's maiden name. And I also, it's not always on camera, but I keep one of her rings off to the side too. I don't wear it because I don't want anything to happen. And just kind of depending on the weather and stuff, sometimes it's either a little too small or a little too big. I don't want to lose it, so, or get paint all over it. But yeah, this is one of the posters. Good, thick poster paper. I haven't ordered a mug yet. I will though. And when that arrives, I'll show you guys. There is one t-shirt on there. What I want to do is order before I put more shirts and stuff. I do want to order that as well and test it out. I want to run it through the washer a couple times so I can say yay or nay on making the t-shirts. I also want to make a lot of tote bags for like grocery bags. Some of those are coming out really cute. So right now there are a few products, but there's a lot more coming out within the next few days. But it's the Artsy Nurse, all one word, all lowercase, .com. And you can check out and order stuff right from that website. I believe it's through PayPal is how it eventually goes through. But it's taken me a couple months to get that website up and running. I had one almost working, and then it wasn't it didn't kind of go through with connecting to the type of products that I wanted, so I ended up having to completely start over from scratch and try it a different way, but luckily this way worked. This painting, hopefully, if it turns out, which I think it will, I just gotta fiddle with it some more after I get some color put in. What I would like to have is this painting, and then I have a couple more ideas for Christmas that I can turn into Christmas cards, which is what I have planned to work on next after this. It did take a couple weeks for that poster to arrive, so that's why I'm doing it a little bit early, so if anybody does want to order some, they can get some before Christmas and still have time to send them out. Finally taking a pause from the woo-woos. Oh, hello. Christmas cards are a great idea too. Yeah. Yeah, the Christmas cards seem like they'd be a lot of fun to make. So this would be the one, if everything kind of goes according to plan, this would be the one, this painting, sorry, would be one of the 3 different Christmas cards I have ideas going on, and nothing sketched out yet, but they're all getting planned out in my head. And the thing with the poinsettias is they kind of go to a stem before they reach the center. I keep wanting to paint the red parts like right up to the center like a real flower, but this part I was actually looking up. The red here, they're actually leaves. Like the flower part of the poinsettia is just the little yellow that will be in the center. But because they're not the green leaves, I'm still gonna call them the petals. Have I ever done a portrait from a photo? Only one. Was it a 3 or 4 video? I did a tribute to Queen Elizabeth right when she passed, and I painted her with a crown. It was a black and white photo with a little bit of metallic paint for her crown. And then it had a red rose going along the length of the side of it. That's, I do have those videos still up. That was actually my first portrait that I've done. I have sketched people before. It's been like a good decade, but I've never completed a painting of a portrait. So I was a little nervous with that one, especially with, you know, how big and popular and stuff she was. That wasn't something I'd want to mess up. You have a dog, Willow, too? Saint Bernard. Oh, good sized dog. My Willow is a lab mix. That's she's a rescue, so that's really all that I knew. When I got her, she was probably about 3, maybe 4 months old. They weren't entirely sure, and she's mostly black, and her ears were flat. And then as soon as she hit about, I don't know, 5, 6 months old, her ears just spiked up so tall. It was such a surprise, and then it took her probably a good year to really grow into them. For a while, I was calling her my bat dog. She was all ears. I could tell where her focus was too, because her ears would turn. And if she was focused on more than one thing, she'd have one ear pointing one direction and one ear pointing the other. Ah, Willow, sending love to your Willow. Yeah, I love the name Willow. Love it. I should have called her Radar. Yeah. Well, I wasn't expecting your ears to just pop up. They didn't do it at the same time either. One went straight up and then the other one stayed like half bent for a few weeks until it joined. I'll have to look through my photos of them. If I have more, I can put more of them on my website. A lot of the photos I have of my dogs as puppies, though, they have my nieces in them, and I do try to keep them off, you know, because they're kids. But I'll look and see if I have a couple available. Still working on making this a little bit bigger, so I'm just going to kind of slowly work out the edges. These YouTube street speaker, I know. That's why I don't usually use my first name. Might still bring this top one down a bit, but just pulling out the color. Or blocking in, not pulling out. So we have color anymore. More quinacridone crimson red paint and more coffee. Good. And as you can see, there's an R written here. Same with the sketches here. And before I painted over them, these ones had W's. I don't know why it took me so long to write You know, because I would do sketches of so many types of flowers, and then I'd have to go back and be like, okay, which one was I going to make the yellow one? Which one was going to be the blue one? And I just made it so much harder on myself. It took quite a while for me to realize, you know, I can just write it with some watered down blue. Such a simple solution. I don't know why it took me so long, but... Not that I've always stuck by my plan. I will sometimes change stuff up as I go. It's quite a bit, actually. I'm leaving a little bit of space. Just so I can see the edges of the petals a little bit, or I can start adding some brown. Excuse me. Good, and I can see my website pop up. This was actually the first little banner that I made, so I'm glad that it's working. Wasn't that it was that hard to do, it was just I hadn't done it before, so I had to figure it out. Gorgeous, love watching you work. Oh, thank you. It's a process, and I seem to do it a little bit different each time. Usually works out though. Once you kind of get how to correct mistakes, and after that it's kind of a free-for-all. The stress isn't really, it's like, well, if I mess up I can fix it. So as soon as you know how to fix stuff, I think that's half the battle of painting. Just trying stuff, see what works, and if it doesn't, fix it. I will say the two trickiest flowers to paint for me personally are the red ones. They used to be the white, but not so much. Once I kind of saw that, you know, white flowers really have very little white in them. They can kind of go brownish white like these, or like a bluish white. you know, there's something off-white about the white flower. That became easier. Yellow, I do, but they can be a little bit harder because on other flowers, when you highlight stuff, you highlight usually with yellow or white, and it's kind of hard to go lighter from that color when that's the color of your flower. And it's a little similar to painting a white flower. There's no, when you're doing a yellow flower, your base isn't actually yellow. It's just a little bit darker. I usually put a little bit more of an orange or a brown in yellow flowers. Reds can be a little difficult too. My favorite thing to paint so far, I think the irises that I've painted, the blue one, like the poster that I had. I've done that a couple times, and I do have, I might have another iris painting being commissioned here coming up. That's still in the works. But my favorite colors are like the blue, purple, and green combo. So really any flowers that have those combinations in it, I'm all over that. Purple is your favorite color, both blue and green accent. Yep. Mine is paint by numbers. I can't draw. Paint by numbers is great. It is actually a really great learning tool. It helps you kind of separate the different shades of colors in a painting for when you go and do it yourself. I have always recommended doing paint by numbers to my nieces so they can, it just helps teach the different layers of shading. It's also really relaxing. I should do a paint by numbers. So, I do have a diamond painting that I got, oh gosh, it was over a year ago. I never took it out of the box though. We'll see if I can find that. Not 100% sure where it ended up. I've got a lot of art stuff. Could be in a drawer somewhere. I already have black here, and I did that so I could see how the white would look against a dark background. You can still see the black quite well. This red that I'm working with is a little bit transparent, but it's going to be very easily blendable in when I get further down to it. So I'm not too worried about it. Acrylics are very forgiving. If you put on a few layers, let them dry, you can cover up pretty much anything, even black. Let me see, I'm going to turn this back this way. And I have kind of one. I might put one more red petal in this corner. Just one all by itself over here. Just kind of spritz water. Oh, my spritzer doesn't want to work. It needs water. Can't spritz with water if there's no water. Sorry, one sec. Refilling it. Test it. There we go. All good. Okay. Now I'm gonna take some of this brown. And it's burnt umber that I'm using. Just adding some red to it to start. We'll slowly go darker. Eventually there will also be black. And white actually in the highlights, but just slowly. So because this is dark here, I'm going to have to lighten the top up here. What is a circuit machine? Very crafty with the circuit. I haven't heard of that. I don't crochet. I can knit kind of if I watch a YouTube video and maybe if somebody starts it for me. My immediate family, you're either a quilter or a painter. I know I've said that before on a couple of lives, but I definitely did not get the quilter gene. And then there's the story of the baby blanket that I tried to make. I tried to quilt, I know I've said this before too, sorry I'm repeating, but I tried to make a baby blanket, and it was this really thick, soft yarn, and it had it went from blue, like a baby blue, to a light gray to white, and kind of went in between all three colors on its own. It was a really pretty yarn too, and I got pretty far on it, but I eventually had to toss it because it was taking so long. I threw it out when the baby actually turned 5, so that was a no. I just kind of pulled that out and worked on it a little bit, wasn't consistent with that at all. This one is mostly up front, so it's gonna get, let's see, the dark will come up here and over here. So it's actually gonna have a little bit of dark in the middle. Just kind of looking to see which petals are under each one. Most of this one is going to be dark. Oh, it's a little too much. No, a little too much water. Pronounced like cricket? Oh, it isn't circuit. Yeah, you're right. I read that too fast. It's a cutting machine. Okay. Clearly, that's not my area of expertise. I can't even pronounce it right. Okay, it does all kinds of stuff. More red. Here and there. Really? Okay. That sounds interesting. I'm gonna have to... You got my curiosity on this. I didn't realize you could do that much with it. Totally forgot about a petal right here. Small one. Didn't know how to pronounce it at first. You're an English teacher. Oh, English. That's okay. I also had to look up, when I first came across it, quinacridone, to be able to pronounce that one. That one was a tongue twister. English was never a subject I took to very well. I always had a good. One of the things I didn't like was if you went to write something, there was like 20,000 different ways you can express yourself. But what I liked was math, because it was either right or wrong, and you could always check your answer and no. Like it was very, very cut and dry. Same with the like math and extension of that, also science. Why something works, or if you have a logo, I can. Okay, cool. For a while growing up, I wanted to be a math teacher. That's how much I liked math. Just fake it till you make it, and sorry, but math sucks. I know not everybody shares my opinion. I liked history though. And I actually really like reading. So you blew up half a chemistry. Oh. See, I wasn't a fan of chemistry. I called it like the dead science or the dry science. I liked biology, which kind of fits with me becoming a nurse, but just use mine for gifts and family. If you have side hustles. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And I know not a lot of people liked the biology part where they could, when it came to like dissecting frogs, or I mostly did frogs in high school. I didn't go to the pigs until college. Some people either find it really interesting or really disgusting. But gross stuff doesn't really bother me at all. Not too much. It's another good thing about being a nurse. As much as I like nursing though, this right here is what I love doing the most. Painting. definitely a right brain, left brain thing. Yeah. Yeah, I was very much better at math and science than English. Except for history. History and reading, that part of that I was into. Loved reading. Still do. Now it's more of like a time thing. Issue more than anything else. Let's see. We did frogs, worms in high school, and nursing first year was a cat, second year was a fetal pig, and third year was a human, which is, oh. I don't know if I could do a human. I never dissected human anything. I never did a cat either. That's, ugh. I only did frogs and a fetal pig. So. I was put with a lab partner who was very, how should I describe, sensitive about that we were dissecting a pig, and this was in college. I wish I could find her to apologize. I was not very sensitive to her feeling. You know, I wasn't hugely mean, but I did do, luckily her and I were kind of friends, but and, you know, at the beginning of class you take off your jewelry and whatnot so nothing ever falls, and then she used the pass to go use the restroom, and when she came back I took her earrings and I put them in the pig's ears. Like, I literally pierced the pig's ears, and she wasn't too happy. I thought it looked cute, but I was bored waiting for her, so I had to do something. A little bit of thicker red. So you can kind of start, just looks a little bit more 3D with getting some of the brown in here. I just realized I need to do these top ones. And we're slowly going to go darker and darker. So yeah, anyone out there watching, I know I have a couple nieces that might look at this later. If you're ever in lab, don't put your lab partner's earrings and stick them on the fetal pig. That's not nice. Be nicer than your auntie. Please. Whenever the lab partner would cut the cat, you'd me out. Oh, okay, I'm not the only one who's mean like that. Okay. There's a reason we're friends, Mary. Oh my gosh. So I've hit the 1 hour mark, so I do want to take just a couple minutes and take a break, stand up, stretch, let my dogs out so they don't drive me nuts, hopefully, prevent them. And so I will just be a couple minutes. Let me see, do I need more coffee? My water's fine. But I will leave this on. You put a little sign here, be right back. So just a couple minutes. I gotta get up and stretch. So one moment. All right, I'm back. And Willow's saying hi again. Willow, no, no. I had to resort to bribing Dakota with a dog treat to get her back in the house. She's like, no, I don't want to come back in. I'm having fun. Oh, I'm sorry, puppy. I'll take you outside when I'm done. We'll play. Let me get this little petal that I just keep forgetting. This one does kind of a turn a little bit like this one up here will. Just getting some color on here. I need some underneath here that's darker. Okay. And let's see. We have, see if this green is still good. Oh, it is cool. Take some of my hooker's green. Let's see, I'll put it over here. I'm gonna get a little bit of a bigger brush, and I am gonna put in some black. Even though I still plan on putting in some green, the black will give me something to blend the green into when I do get there. And also when I develop, you know, flowers, it looks completely different between having a white background versus black. And there's been times where I've completely finished a flower and I've then painted the dark background and it looks completely different. I end up having to redo it. So I'm gonna darken some of the background here a bit. Let me get some more. Where's my black? That's my marker. Okay, let me get some black in. Mare, if you're, well, I know you're still here, but you might be away from the computer, but drop a link into your channel, Mare. Mare's starting a channel and she does a lot of crafting stuff. She doesn't do a whole lot of like painting, although she has done some paint by numbers, which I think would be fun for her to do. But she does a lot of crafting type stuff too, Tina. You probably would really like her channel. We're working on a collaboration here in the future coming up. Every year I make gingerbread cookies, but I ice them to, not to sound like inappropriate, but I call them my stripper gingerbread cookies. And so that I might be doing over on Mare's channel this year. I figure, you know, I work night shift for a reason. I will make stripper gingerbread cookies and actually bring them into work. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. Nope, that's gonna be way too far down of the ones I did last year, but let me hit up Google really quick. And I can show you kind of what I mean here. Sorry, just scanning. If I don't find them too fast, I will skip it. But some that look like this. That is how I make my Christmas cookies. Stripper gingerbread man. Do that every year. So Mare will be doing a lot of crafts from what I understand, and also some cooking and baking. On her channel. So. And she just started it, it's brand new. She's getting some subscribers already. So, it'll be good. This will go a little bit quicker with a bigger brush. I do have a preference for using the super small brushes. I've used brushes that are smaller than this. Let's see if you can kind of see how tiny that is. On paintings that are literally 4 times this size, like this would be a fourth of the painting, and did it all with a small brush. I went through the brush and had to, you know, I ran out of bristles and had to buy it a couple times, and it took about 6 months. But I liked it. I like that it forces you to slow down. Sorry, grandson spilled water all over the floor. Oh no! This is just water though. Let me see. I need to move my... It's off camera, you can't see, but I need to move my keyboard so that I can move this up. There we go. My dogs are being quiet, and it's a little too quiet. What are you guys doing? Okay. They're laying down, they're being good. Awesome. If it gets too quiet, I get suspicious. I think I'll go for a smaller brush for that area first. It is possible to get, these smaller areas with the large brush, especially if it's round, so it comes to a point at the very end. It's a little bit hard though. What I do is I press down, get some of the paint off my brush in the center, and then use the very tip of the brush to bring the paint to the edge. Just got to be really careful with it. Here I'll put down like a lot of pressure, get some of the paint off, and then very lightly use the end of the paintbrush to get closer to the edge here. It's a little too much water in this paint though. Some people, and I do think it's kind of neat how they do this, but they will extend their painting over to the edge. I don't. I will, as soon as I'm done, especially if it's a black background, I'll just go through and hit solid black all the way across or all the way down, all four sides. Whichever color I use more in the background, even if I do put a bunch of leaves on. I usually just have the sides be a solid color. I usually go under a frame anyway, so. Excuse me. I'm wondering what this line here was. Oh, this might have been probably for a leaf, which I will put in the very end. You can see in this red one there is some white in here already. It shows up a lot more on camera though than on my actual painting. But there will be some white. Now there'll actually be quite a bit of black too, because there's like a black, almost like a crease for the stem, and then there's a bunch of black that comes out, and it all kind of gets blended together. So they're still going to look quite different. There's still quite a bit to do with the red. It's just easier to finish them up on a dark background than the white. Not using the other colors. Respritz. They don't dry out on me while I do this part. Oops, was I painting off camera there for a little bit? I get focused. I'm sorry. Still won't look totally Christmassy until I've got some of the green in. Back to the smaller one. There will be smaller flowers in the center here, of all of them actually, but I want the dark behind it. Just end up painting right on top of it. I'm gonna bring this up a little bit here. Same with this one. There is a bit of a space. Space between the center and the width of the kind of exaggerate it a little bit, at least on a couple of them. Same with over here, there will be flowers in the center. But I want the dark behind it. Willow. That one. Hey Willow. Hi puppy. They kind of overlapped a bit here, but these are supposed to be two separate. Make that a little bit more clear. I will when I go through and work on shading these a little bit more. going under the... Will's just going under my desk. That's kind of her spot. I'm not really worried about too much about some of the black going over where the petals are, because the petals will have black in them here shortly. Like in the darkest spots here, but also part of the actual flower. Cleaning the brush. Go into this brown and get some of these stems here. Knit in. Oh, no problem, Mare. This is kind of a slow process. It's one thing that people really like about painting, and it's also one thing that people really don't like about painting. So if you need to, you know, come and go, it's understandable. Try and find something for this to lean on a little bit, so you see a little more of the actual paint rather than just the shine of the wet paint. Kind of tempted, I might do some additional smaller petals here. I'll see. Get my thumbnail back up on my phone so it's nice and big. Color. It's kind of, yeah, I try not to get too much of the pink. There is actually some pink. Never really understood why when you add white to blue, you get light blue. When you add white to green, you get light green. Add white to yellow, you get light yellow. When you add white to red, you get a whole different name for it. Pink. I'm just putting in little bits around the edges. I still want it's not going to be quite as much as this one, so I will probably go back over with a little bit of red and get some of that white kind of pulled back a little bit. In or out, Willow? Just pick one. She might bark here in a second. Yep, she left a little determined. Ready to bark at something. Almost looks like I'm kind of outlining it. I'm trying not to, but there's a lot that I'm going to be doing here in the center. So I'm trying to just get the lightest part of the flowers a little bit highlighted. Oops, sorry, I'm painting off camera again. Okay, so this part here in the center, I'm going to be using a lot of the brown, but I'm also going to be plugging in some of the black. I take some of the brown that I have blended with the red, and it's the same brown that I use with the shading. But let's see, so we'll start. You think this should be on a mug? First, plugging it in, mostly brown. switching to the red and blending it in more. I'm getting a little bit of black. Hello. Who's that Dakota? Which puppy? Which one of you's grumbling? Some watered down black. We're going to be coming out. Still want a couple main right across from each other. Stick out a little bit further. Red, blending it out. Getting some of the lighter color, and blending it in between. I might have it a little too dark. So, go back to my brown that has the red mixed in. Lightly go over the darkest spots, just lightening it a smidge. it does extend a little bit further out. Some of these do go right to the edge, so I'm going to make it a little bit longer. I'm going to test and see what it would look like with a little bit of yellow highlight. See if I like it. Very watered down. The white is just showing up so much compared to the rest. I just want to see if I can dull it just a smidge by having some yellow on top instead. Too much over. Blend it a little bit better, make it look a little less stripy. There, I like it better, a little bit blended. Yeah, that's a lot better. Let that dry. That's got a lot of water on it, especially right here. See how it looks when it dries. So we'll start the process over here. Start with the brown. They're almost like half circles. They're all right across from each other. They don't alternate. You know, I don't do like a branch here and then, ooh, that had white, and then a branch higher up like that. Did not mean to put white on my brush. Get that out of here. Towel. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh yeah, quick fix. You're fast enough, it's, yep, you can lift it all. Black. And then some watered down red and blend. Smaller pieces in between. Too much water. Okay. It's very, very choppy. It makes me kind of want to go in and blend a little bit more into the white, but I'll pause until I'm done with the red before see how I actually feel towards the end there. But yeah, you can see it's gonna look a lot different than just a solid red. It's gonna be all sorts of different shades up in these things. So because I have hit the 2-hour mark, I am gonna go ahead and take another small break and stretch. See, yeah, I need more coffee. So give me just a few moments and we will. You need to go outside again. Uh-oh, I said the outside would. I gotta let them out real quick. So be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully the dogs will be good. And need to go where there's no drama, and this looks like the perfect. Yeah. There's so much stuff that's going on between the channels, and their lives are so long. Once you're kind of behind, it's hard to catch up, and then it's like, meh. Still watch some of them, but there's a lot going on that I am just kind of clueless about. Kind of. So for right now, I'm not quite sure if I like how this is turning out, but I'm gonna keep going with it on a few of the petals and see how it looks more overall. It is making me want to go back through the white ones because there's just it's not blended enough in these. It's a little too stripy. So I'll go through. Just continuing on. I think I'll like it more too when I have the centers, the flowers in the center. Need cliff, yeah, exactly, Mare. I don't want to listen to a live that's like 6 hours long. How do you catch up when you miss that? I don't have enough time to. Darker. Black in there. Grab some more of the watered down red and really start to blend it in. tilt this back up so you see some of the color and not so much the reflection of the wet paint in the light. Hi, Dakota. You being good? No? She shook her head no. You're okay. Yeah, you're okay. I don't know if you can hear her. She's got her head on my knee, trying to paint with my right hand and pet a dog with my left. Sorry, I'm painting a little bit off camera. Multitasking hand at the finest. Yep. Dakota's a little bit sweeter when she wants cuddles. She'll kind of whine, she'll put her head on you. Willow will just flat out bark and yell at me. Kind of a cuddle me now type of bark that she has. Willow. Willow says hi again. One child is always the drama queen. Yeah. Occasionally they'll switch. They'll take turns. Willow barks a little bit more inside the house. Dakota barks a little bit more when they're out in the backyard. It just depends. Depends on their mood. Remember to keep looking up at the camera because it looks so different on camera than it does in front of me sometimes. All right, get some watered down red and blend. Willow. starting to look a little bit better. I keep going a little bit too fast. I have some brown blended in with some white right here on my palette, and I'm keep picking up the white and I don't mean to. Tiniest little bit of white will show up like crazy on these ones. Actually gonna move my brown because that white is gonna bug me. More over here to the red. So I just plugged in some of what the actual, this is the only flower part of the poinsettia. These parts are actually leaves. Still calling these petals though. It's a little bit too wet for me to do more to them, but it's going to be a little bit more yellow in there. And then there's like a white dot on each one as well. But I just wanted to kind of plug some, just to kind of see what it's going to look like. Even though I'm still working on the petals, I just skipped a step. Went a step ahead right there. I wanted to see, I was curious. Definitely gonna have to let this wet paint dry before I can fix. I have two of them just kind of mushed into each other, but this one's looking good. And as soon as this gets dry, it'll get just a little bit of red in there as well. So do want to do here is go back with some red and just kind of dull down some of this white. There's just a little bit too much of it on these edges. It doesn't have to be all the white taking out, but just go to the edge on some of it too. I don't want it to be stripy. This part doesn't have to look perfect. It's all going to be in the black background after it gets that in. So. All right, so I was kind of hoping to get it done today. There's no way I'm going to be able to get it finished today. So I will, let's see, I'm almost at 3 hours, so I will go ahead and call it a day with that. I might still use, I don't think I'm going to be able to save my paint until next time, because tomorrow's the start of my week, so I'm going to be working the next 3 nights. So nurse, let's see, might still keep, okay. So I will try, I always try for Thursday. Last couple weeks though, it has ended up being on a Friday. It just kind of depends on how my week goes and how much I kind of need to recover from work. So I will go ahead and stop for now. Next week I'll finish putting in these little bits of texture into the red, and I'm gonna get some green leaves in here. It's gonna look a lot different even from what it looks now. So we're just gonna keep going with it, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to check out my website, theartsynurse.com. Within the next few days, there's gonna be a lot more products with some of the paintings that I have already have pictured on there, but I'm gonna get a lot more of those onto products. So be sure to check those out. Have a good day, you guys.